adventure, excitement. A Jedi might not crave these things, but this guy does, and I get plenty of it in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now, if you've never come to one of my videos before, it's cool. Welcome aboard. I'm Tim Anderson, aka Renfail, sometimes known as the Bearded Dwarven Princess from the Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings Online realms. And Star Wars: The Old Republic is a game that I have played since launch, usually once a year for about 3 months at a time. Sometimes I'll take a 1.5 year break, but my brother and I have played this game for a long time. And recently I had the opportunity to get back into it, having not played it in about a year. And in the course of that year, the Legacy of the Sith expansion came out, which brought with it a sweeping array of changes to the way the classes play. Now, it used to be, if you chose to be like a Jedi Guardian, you were locked into either the Guardian or the Sentinel fighting styles for that archetype. So you could either be a tank style with one lightsaber or the dual-wielding Sentinel, and those both shared the same storyline. But now they've made a variety of changes which allow you to pick any of these styles to suit your particular storyline or archetype, which is honestly an amazing feature, and it's one of the reasons that I felt like it was time for me to do an updated version of my Is It Worth Playing series, because I think as of right now, especially if you're someone who hasn't played in a long time, there's no better time to jump into Star Wars: The Republic. And if you're new, also, there's no better time to jump in. So we're going to go through the changes really quick, and then we're going to get into like the differences between the free-to-play versus the VIP and which version you should choose and everything else, and go from there. Before we get going, though, call to action time. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get more like this as I continue to play through Star Wars: The Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Online, all the other things that I do here on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to support. It's super simple. You can do a membership option down there, recurring payment once a month. There's multiple tiers for members, or you can just do a one-off in the form of a super thanks right here. And of course, if you see me live or on a premiere, don't forget to do super chats and stickers, because it keeps the lights on, the bills paid, and it keeps me making videos like this full time for all of you out there in YouTube land. So without further ado, let's go ahead and create a character. Now, we're not going to do a boosted character for the Onslaught and Legacy of the Sith, because we actually want to show you what it looks like if you're creating a level 1 character from scratch. So we're just going to pick right here. Now, normally you can, as per the old school way, you could choose being the Empire or the, well, it's the Sith Empire and the Galactic Republic. That's a lot of sound effects for your buck. So let's just pick Republic. Here's where things get tasty, tasty, tasty. Because remember how I said back in the day, as an example, if you chose Jedi Knight as your origin story, or your archetype, you were then going to either have to pick between the Guardian or Sentinel as your style, but now you could choose between Sage and Shadow as well, which means you have the options for the Jedi Consular as well. But let's say we want to go Smuggler. Well, then you're not just going to have at your disposal the original Gunslinger or Scoundrel, you're also going to have the Mercenary and Power Tick, which were from the Bounty Hunter side, the Commando and Vanguard from the Trooper, or the Sniper and Operative from the Imperial Agent, which basically means that your origin story stays the same, but now rather than being locked into one of 2 different play styles, you now have a slew of additional play styles to fit within that sort of given archetypes, or archetypes. I said those backwards. You know what I mean. So this allows you a huge range. So if I wanted to go with, say, a Trooper, which is what I'm currently playing through. Get that out of the way, let her shoot her blasters. I'm currently playing through the Trooper in my latest playthrough series. And it used to be you were locked into 2, but now you can be basically any type of Trooper you want to be, which means you can pick your favorite Trooper from the Clone Wars. You can dual wield, you can use a power cannon, you can use a blaster rifle. Go melee. It's up to you. There's a whole slew of options now. And not only that, but once you get into the game, there's also additional ways that you can customize your character based on your playstyle as well. Because there's the different specs, or the talent trees as you would, within a given style. There are a lot of options, and a lot more options than there used to be if you haven't played this game since before Legacy of the Sith came along. Now, I know some people were out there waiting for the expansion. It was supposed to launch. It got pushed back, which is one of the reasons why my brother and I didn't play it when it originally came out, because we were primed and ready, and then it got pushed back a few months, and we ended up getting busy with Lord of the Rings Online and then moving into World of Warcraft Classic, and we just now have come back around to the point where at least I've got some spare time. My brother doesn't, but I'm doing a playthrough anyway, because the Trooper story is one of the ones that I've not played through before. I think it's one of only two. I've never done the Imperial Inquisitor either, so that's going to be one I do maybe in the spring. We'll see. But for my current playthrough, I'm doing the Trooper, and I'm loving the new changes because it allows me to go in and do a lot more than I used to. Now, what does it look like on the backside? Like once you actually get logged in? Well, let's go take a look at my Trooper. I can actually log into him right now because I've been playing him recently, so I'm most familiar with him. I can get a quick glimpse for everybody on what this looks like, because it is a little bit different than it used to be in terms of the way it looks, the UI and the talent specking and everything else, and the character panels, but it's still the same game. It's still the great Star Wars Republic that you've known and loved if you've played this game over the years. But again, if you've never played this before, I would highly urge you to play. There's a free-to-play version and a VIP subscription version that you can choose from. I'm currently doing free-to-play. This is one of the only times I've done free-to-play, and the only reason I've been doing the free-to-play is because I'm playing lots of other games right now, and I'm only dedicating maybe 2 hours a week to play Star Wars: The Republic. Now, when my brother and I play together, we usually get into the point where we're playing 20 to 30 hours a week, and that's when we sub up and do a 3-month block and subscribe. So let's go ahead and take a look at the abilities panel. It looks a little bit different compared to what it used to, but the big thing is to go into the character panel here. So at the top, you've got a slightly different way of looking at things compared to the old way, and now you've got tabs at the top. But this is what I was wanting to talk about here, is that, so I've chosen a level 10, I've chosen the Republic Trooper, but I chose the Mercenary, right, which is used to be only for the bounty hunters on the Sith Empire side. But here I can do it on my end. Now, one of the differences between the VIP and the normal is that as a VIP subscriber, you can actually unlock a second combat style, which allows you to have dual specs and flip between them. And within the Mercenary spec, we have 3 different disciplines, which essentially are these ability trees over here, and it's the different abilities that you're going to get as you level up at 15, 23, 27, 35. So if I were to pick, right now I'm on Innovative Ordnance, if I were to pick Arsenal, it's going to change all of these over on the right. You can only do this when you're in a cantina or someplace. And then if I want to switch to the heal spec, I can easily go boom, and now I'm in the heal spec. So it's pretty brilliant how easily they've allowed you to do this now. To go in here, it looks like there's a slight cooldown on that to be able to go through. But you can come in here and change specs at will within this, having dual spec, and then change your disciplines or your talent trees, however you want to choose to call that. You can also do loadouts now, which is a really cool feature. Again, they're adding just more and more options for players. You still have the outfitter panel, which is slightly different than it was before. But again, if you really want to take if you want to get the most advantage out of the outfitter, you're going to want to go VIP, because you sort of get unlimited options, as opposed to free to play, where you are somewhat limited to sort of like what you have as the base game. So that being said, should you play free to play or should you play VIP? Should you pay for a subscription? Honestly, I would say that's going to depend on how much time you're going to be investing each week into Star Wars: The Republic, and whether or not you care to have access to all of the perks, plus get a few hundred coins per month to spend in the cartel store. Now, I love the cartel store, but it is purely cosmetic. If you've never dealt with the cartel store before, the cartel market, it is just lots and lots of really cool cosmetic stuff. I've got 3,800 points saved up, so I'm going to be spending something on a cosmetic set of gear for this character. Once I get it a little higher, I'm not too worried about it at the moment. But you can go through here and pick lots of different things. There's tons of mounts to choose from. There's the treatment chamber, which is a graphic, an upgrade to the way you regenerate your health and stuff. And there's just lots of cool things that you can spend your perks on. So VIP, you get cartel points every month, plus you get unlimited access to things like, as an example, free to play, I can't send credits to my other characters. However, if you have legacy characters and you use the legacy bank, that's a workaround if you have a legacy unlocked on your account. So that's a limitation of the free to play, and obviously there are limitations to how many cosmetic options. I don't think, unless they've changed it, I don't think you can like turn off your helmet on free to play. Like, so if you want your helmet turned off, that's actually a VIP thing. So there are, I would consider the easiest way to explain this is that there are perks to going VIP and having the subscription versus the base game, which doesn't give you as many perks. You also get rested XP when you are a VIP. I don't think you necessarily need it, because as you're going through the game, you're going to get these XP buffs, which I'm already running one right now. They usually run for about 3 hours. I don't think I have any in my inventory at the moment. But you get them pretty frequently, and so you're constantly able to run XP buffs. And because everything scales these days, as long as you're above level for the thing you're going to do, it's always going to scale you down. And I've done a couple of times now with different experiments, and I've always managed to stay ahead of the content, even on the free-to-play, running the XP packs that they give you every once in a while, the XP pots. So honestly, I would say the biggest determining factor is just, do you want those additional perks? Do you want cartel points every month? Do you want discounts on things from the cartel store? Do you want to be able to send money in between your characters or to other players? Do you want unlimited access to like the cosmetic options? There's also, if I remember correctly, and it's been a while since I've played, it's been about a year, so if I'm wrong on this one, let me know in the comments below, those of you who play this game regularly. There used to be a gear tier, purple gear, I can't remember what it's called, but there is a tier of gear that is locked to VIPs, to subscribers, unless you pay cartel points to unlock it on that character. And so there are, again, it's perks. It's all about the perks that you get if you want to be VIP. For me, I would say that if you're only going to play this game a couple hours a week, it might not be worth going for the VIP. But if you're going to play 10 hours or more, I think it's totally worth your time to go subscription on this game, especially when you buy it in 3 or 6 month blocks, because you get a little bit of a discount. It's well worth your time. It's a huge game. There is a ton of content. I haven't even finished Onslaught, and I haven't even gotten to Legacy of the Sith yet. So that's one of the things I'm working on right now, is going through my Trooper storyline right now. And then as soon as I'm done with the Trooper storyline, I'm going to take my Jedi Guardian, who's level 70, and I'm going to go through the rest of the Onslaught and then into the Legacy of the Sith and see those two expansions, which I haven't experienced yet. So, with that being said, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've ever played this game, do you think this game is worth it in 2022? Drop that down below. If you're a new player, don't hesitate to ask me questions if you have any. And of course, as I said before at the beginning of the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can continue to get updates as I play through Star Wars: The Old Republic and all the other things that I do on my YouTube channel. And if you like this, hopefully you've liked it enough to support the channel, because it keeps the lights on and it keeps me doing this full time. Again, on a video like this, the best way is just join as a member of the guild. There's 3 different options. You can also do a super thanks down below if you prefer a one-off payment, and if you're on a premiere or a live stream, don't forget super chats and stickers. And if you're into game dev and fantasy, my wife and my brother and I have that world map behind me. That's over at our Patreon page. It's a tabletop setting that's been out since May. We live stream every Sunday night with our friends. It's also a point-and-click adventure game, and it's a book series, which is being done in a serialized format. So check out the Patreon page as well. Hopefully we'll see you in Discord. Don't forget, we're also playing World of Warcraft Classic together as a gaming community, so if you want to come join us there, we're in Wrath of the Lich King for the moment. Until next time, stay safe, happy gaming, and may the Force be with you, everybody. Cheers.